Hi there, and this is a quick demo of the activity for Module 7, where you create a one-page data story. So I'm using Copilot, and you can just follow this and see if you can recreate it with your own data. Now, the first thing that I need is the data set. Now, these are some dummy data sets that I have of the coffee roaster. I'll just take the largest one. So keep in mind that these numbers may not match the sample ones that I showed you earlier because I'm using a much larger data sets. So I'm going with coffee reviews underscore large to Excel, and it's around 55 KB of data in there. Let me just open to show you what's in it as well. So I've kept the data quite simple. I've got a review ID here. Just zoom this up a bit. I've got a review ID here, the date the review was left, the overall rating that they gave, and the review text. So you can go more narrower and just say, look at the review text column, and that'll give you insights only from there. But I'm going to take a more generic approach. Cool. So let me go back to my Copilot. I'm going to add my data here. It's inside my module 7. There you go. That's the large one there. Okay, so I've got that uploaded now, and I'm going to give the prompt that I have given in the activity page for you. The one called your one-page data story. There you go, analyze, that's the prompt. Let me just copy that up. Okay, right. Now, I'm asking it to act as a data analyst, and I'll give it a bit more context by saying that I run a small coffee roaster business. Attach it's my data set of customer reviews. You can always change that too into whatever the data set is about, but keep it really simple for this activity if you can. Summarize the 3 most important insights in plain English. And I've also asked it to say, what story do these numbers tell me about my business? So let's give that a go. So it's got 300 entries, and apparently it's got 3 insights. So it says that insight 1 is that my coffee is a premium gifting favorite. Okay. So more than 60% of reviews mention gifting, birthdays, anniversaries, corporate thank yous. That's nice. And apparently we've got praises on our excellent packaging and the wow factor of the presentation along with fast delivery. And they're also saying most of them, well, some of them even became subscribers after receiving it as a gift. So that's quite a good story there. Right, let's look at the next insight. It's about the delivery speed, which is obviously a good thing. Now, if any of these had a lot of negative reviews just on the delivery, you would try to improve that one. And insight 3 is subscription and repeat orders drive royalty. Okay. Because some of them say that they have ordered 3 or more times, and subscription are convenient, reliable, and a gift to myself. So these actually 3 of them are pretty good, to be honest. But I think the most useful one that I would use is this one here. So let me see if I can say. So it's, of course, it suggested me more things to do. You can if you want to, but I'll just say I want to focus on insight 1. Can I get more data on it? Can I get more details on that data? And of course, please do a sense check with your actual Excel to make sure that, it's roughly what they're saying, it is correct. And make sure if you're actually calculating numbers, they look correct as well. Right. Mm. Okay, so 180 reviews out of 300 explicitly mention gifting. That's quite nice. So that asking that extra question gave me this as well, but you can of course ask out of like how many reviews are we talking about, or you can ask more specific questions if you wanted to. Okay. Oh, that I kind of like this one. You're not just selling a present, you're selling confidence in gifting. Hmm. So this is actually a good suggestion whether you want to turn this into a branded gifting campaign. But at the moment we're sticking to the data story because that's what we're trying to create. So I'm just gonna go with that one. But yeah, that's a good one to follow through, whether you want to create a new gift campaign based on that. Cool. And now, as I said, I don't really want to use any language model to create the chart for me. So I'm just gonna go to the Canva and show you the template that I created for you. You can of course reuse the template if you want. You can create your own brand new one, but I thought it's nice to see it visually what I'm expecting out of this as well. So this one is the one I created in Canva for the coffee roaster business. So I have gone through the exercise activity, checked for accuracy and making sure I'm not divulging things I should not. And I've gone through this write your story where you've got the data, the meaning, the action. You can also use the prompt here to get an LLM to generate it for you. So let me just go back to my Copilot, paste that there, and I'll also say the customer insight one that I need was I'm just putting in the exact words. There you go. Right. So let's, okay. Cool. So they have given you 3 different frameworks that is crafted for a different audience. If it does not give you the different audience automatically, because sometimes it won't, you can specifically ask it to craft it for an investor or a website visitor. And yeah, again, like you have to go through all of them to make sure it still makes sense and make sure there's no, errors. I kind of really like this one. So let's assume that we are using it to pitch to an investor. And I'm going back to the activity. So I'm going to do this a bit differently because you have to think for yourself here and decide what your key insight, what exactly you want to say rather than just leaving it all to them. So I think for me that I would say that our product is we are not just a coffee company, we are a gift company. That is my key insight. So visual again, I want to compare I'm going with the bar chart. Comparing the versus others. And I'm just gonna ask it to say, keep it simple. I'll update the activity sheet to have that because, like I said, I don't really want to use the LLM to create the chart for me. So I'm gonna go with one suggested visual. And I'm gonna also change that to one page data story content. Okay. Let's send that away and see what that looks like. Nice. Okay. So that's what I expected, that 180 out of 300 reviews mention gifting. 60% of customers say okay, the meaning there, and the action is basically to double down on gifting. So I'm gonna okay, so I made it a bit more investor focused, so it's kind of changed the language a little bit. Again, you can edit it by yourself to make more sense to your brand identity as well. Trying to decide which one is the best for me to go with. Okay, let me go back to the Canva. Right, so this is what I did earlier. So instead of going for, you could go for that our coffee is, we're not just a coffee company, we're a gift company, is quite clear as well. But if I'm actually looking at investor, I might just go with is opportunity to expand sales. And then I shall update this as well because the number was 60%. To be clear, now in Canva, you can just click onto elements and then you can search the elements. There should be one for charts here. And you can choose whatever chart you like. I've already added one chart here, so if you want to change that, you can do it too. If you want to keep a bar chart, but you want to just edit the colors, the numbers, stuff like that, you can directly go into edit here. And there you go. So this one was, trying to remember, this is 180 and this is 120, I think. There you go. And if you go into the customize here, you can add more stuff. For example, I went in and I added X and Y axis label at some point. Yeah, there you go. I said the number of reviews because that was missing. And yeah, just play around with, see your comfort with it. And again, use Excel if you prefer, if you're more used to it. You can, I think, now if you want to change the chart here directly, instead of going through the elements and seeing all the options here, you can just click on the chart, go to edit, and then on the top here, you can see the choice between bar chart, stack bar chart, row chart, pie chart, donut, line chart. There's heaps there. So pick one that suits you. I'll just stick to this one. Right. So yeah, I think that's a good narration as well. Our data shows a huge opportunity in the gifting market. We are launching new gift bundles to meet this demand, turning customer loyalty into scalable growth. Now, if this was an investor pitch, you would add an ask, maybe in the next slide, of saying we need this much money to do this and show this level of profit, which basically is here. Yeah, and again, iterate it as many times as you like till you're happy with what you have. As you can see, I'm continuously iterating here, even though this is not really a real data set. But yeah, keep working on it till you're happy with it. Now, what I've also done, and I'll share with you, is the link to this Canva template that I created. Just make sure that you don't actually edit the first page or the second page, because that's just for your information. If you like, just make a copy and then modify this as much as you want. And I've left you a few things that you need to be aware of. If you want to just use it as an easy to use template, you can drop your logo here, your headline, your main data point that you wanted to make. And yeah, so if you have any questions, just ask me on the community page and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you enjoy creating your own data story.